So I've been running 25 years competitively, and over that time I've racked up some really pleasing running achievements. So one particular highlight was the London Marathon 2006, where I ran 2:56:02 at the age of 43. And another achievement around that time was achieving a county best over cross country. So it was during that time 18 years ago that I set my lifetime PBs, which I'll put on the screen for you. So yes, so having lifetime PBs is wonderful, but also being able to continue to train and race as you start to mature is also very satisfying. So despite those PBs, I believe that the last 2 years has been a golden age of running for me. So in this video, I'm going to take you through how I track the progress I believe I'm still making as a runner. And I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I believe I'm still making that progress beyond the age of 60. So now I'm 60 years old and I believe I'm running better than ever, and I can prove it.
But how can this be? How can you be running better than ever at the age of 60?
Well, one method by which you can measure your progress as you start to get older is to use something called age grading.
So age grading works by taking a runner's time over a particular distance, putting in their age and gender. It will then give you a time that it thinks you would have run equivalent had you been a senior male or female. So we put some of Dawn's recent best performances through an age grading calculator, and this is what it came out with.
So my 20:56 at the Mid Cheshire 5k that I ran quite recently gives me a senior equivalent of 16:40.
And the 43:09 that Dawn ran at the Knutsford 10k last year gives her equivalent age graded time of 34:13 over the 10k. And the 97:01 she ran at the North Lincolnshire Half Marathon back in March gives her an age senior equivalent time of 1 hour 15 and 37 seconds. That's really very speedy. And finally, the 3:31:43 Dawn ran at the Abingdon Marathon at the age of 59 would give an age graded time of 2 hours 46 and 45. So you can see that by using age grading as you're an older runner, rather than thinking my times are getting slower, you can see that your relative times that you might have run as a senior can actually get faster and faster.
So another thing that's kept me motivated over the last couple of years is taking part in the England Masters scheme. I've been fortunate enough to qualify from 5k up to the marathon, and even luckier that I've actually made the podium on 2 occasions. I made the podium in the Birmingham 10k where I finished 3rd, and I finished 3rd in the 5k at the Mid Cheshire. So really pleased with this scheme. It's really been a fantastic experience. And my motivation has even taken me onto the track, where I've competed in distances that I've not tried for many years. I did 100 metres this year, and I never thought I'd see myself running 100 metres at the age of 60, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and again I picked up a medal surprisingly. So if you're a Masters runner, why not try the England Masters scheme and even getting onto the track doing veteran races? It really is a friendly community and welcoming to everybody, no matter what your standard. So 3 reasons why I've been able to make those age grading times improve and remain competitive. So the first one is not being bothered by seeing your training paces slow, because it's inevitable. As you get older, your paces are going to slow. I can race a 5k at 6:40, 6:45, but when I'm training, if I have days where my training runs come out at 10-minute miles, it doesn't bother me. You have to accept that this is the stage you're going to get to in your running. So in the early days when I was running, I used to think you had to push on every run, and if I didn't come back moderately tired, then I thought I hadn't pushed hard enough. So now I know that every single run has a purpose, including those 10-minute mile runs, which will help to flush out anything out of my legs and leave me fresh for the runs where I want to go a bit harder. So the first reason that I feel that I'm getting quicker, or relatively quicker, is that I don't stress over training paces. So the second reason is staying injury-free, which I've done since 2019. So in my 50s, I had a period of getting injured. I had a period where I was going through hormonal problems, the menopause. You know, this will be relatable to many women out there who find it very difficult at that stage in their running careers. So during my 50s, I had a really quite torrid time, and since 2019, that has changed. Why has it changed? Well, I'll tell you in one moment. So now I try to look at my training holistically. I try to look at my diet, I look at my week, what I'm managing to do in that week, I look at what I'm doing in terms of my workload, and I take all that into consideration to keep me injury free. I've always been a pretty strong person, but now I make extra effort to make sure that I do strength and conditioning on a regular basis. So in the mornings, I'll do 20 press-ups. That's just an example of getting up and thinking holistically as a runner, what do I need to do for that day? And the final reason why I'm able to remain injury-free is I also have John beside me as not only a husband, but as a running coach. And he knows me really well, and he will pull me back from overdoing it, because I do have a tendency sometimes, or I have done over the years, of pushing those boundaries beyond what is reasonable, and it ends up with me being injured. Look at this beautiful view. Anyway, so the second reason why I'm able to continue to make progress into my 60s is to remain injury free, and that's because I listen to my coach and apply mostly what he tells me. So this leads me to the third and final point of why I'm continuing to make improvements, and that was the turning point in 2019. So it was in that year that I reached out to a local running coach who also did lactate tests. I wanted to see where I was at so I could make plans for my future running. So I was coming out of those health problems that I mentioned, and I wanted to know that I still had a future in competitive running. And the numbers I got from that test and the positivity I got from the coach and the advice was really, really encouraging, and it led me to believe that I had a future in competitive running, and I was excited to get started. So once again, having had the advice from a running coach and applying it to my running, John and I decided 2 years ago that we wanted to know more about coaching and more about how we could actually improve our own running by becoming coaches ourselves. So we did the England Athletics Coaching Running Fitness qualification, and we were able to apply what we'd learned there and from extra reading to our own running, which has helped me to continue to improve, but we're also able to apply it to runners that we coach as well. So although I'm a very experienced runner and I know a lot myself, I've benefited from having John as my running coach. He has helped me to get to where I am today. He's helped me to be able to stand with that England vest on, being really proud, and I've achieved that from 5k up to the marathon. And having John as a coach is a massive reason for that success. So there you have it, guys. That's the 3 reasons why I'm running as well as I am at the age of 60 and making progress. So I've benefited from running coaching, and this may be something that you would benefit from too. So if you feel running coaching is something you'd be interested in having, then please get in touch, and I'll put an email address on the screen now. We also have a dedicated Facebook page where you can find out more about our coaching offer, and I'll put a link to that below. And if you've got something out of this video, please give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed already, we'd love you to do so.
So until next time, keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.